his play is getting worse as the games go along. We look at how well he played in games 1 and 2. And if you look at the series, Skip, the Lakers, he played 6 games, he had 9 turnovers. Against the Nuggets, he had 5 turnovers in 4 games. Against the Clippers, he had 8 turnovers. Against the Bucks, now he has 17 turnovers in 4 games. So you can see the turnovers are starting to arise. Now, a lot of that has to do with Drew Holiday. Holiday ain't waiting till half court to pick his butt up. He's picking him up. He's making him fight to get the ball inbounds. And he's picking him up. He's guarding him 94 feet. And maybe that's wearing him down. Maybe you need to let Book bring the ball up. Maybe you need to let Crowder or you let Bridges, someone else other than CP3, so he's not getting hounded all night long. But whatever the Bucks are doing is working because Chris Paul has not looked like himself since Game 2. Game 3, and it's gotten worse. Game 3, he was bad. Game 4, he was even worse. So in order for them to win, Skip, he's going to have to play better. I hate that he played so bad last night and it wasted a virtuoso by Devin Booker. Because Devin Booker was sensational, Skip. At 18 points in the third quarter on 7 of 7 shooting. It seemed like every time he rose, I was like, that's good. Count that one, bro. And he was sensational. And as great as he was, Chris Paul was equally as bad. So for me, Skip, I still believe in him. But the point guard was just, oh my God, last night. Because every time he got the ball, like, oh my God, what is he gonna do now? It's like he couldn't stay on his feet. He couldn't hold on to the ball. It was almost like, Skip, you remember the series against the Lakers? He couldn't hold on to the ball. He was slipping all over the place. And I'm like, what's going on, Chris? But he's gonna have to fix that. The Bucks were ripe for the taking. I still believe the Suns are going to win this series because of the very reasons that we've been discussing. They play dumb basketball. They refuse to go inside on a consistent basis, and they jack up threes. Now, Monty said they've outworked us the last 2 games. I'm going to see if what he's saying is resonating in that locker room. Because right now, I can only count on 2 guys, really 2 guys. I can count on Crowder, and I can count on Book. Because Ayton got in foul trouble. I need more from you, Ayton. I need more than 6 points. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You had a couple of lapses on the defensive end. You let Connington get in and get a rebound. You let Brook Lopez go over your back and get a tip in on a missed free throw. I can live with that 8. But you gave me 17. You're averaging 16, 17 rebounds a game. But I need more on the offensive end. And Chris Paul, bruh, there ain't no guarantees you're going to get back. I know you got a young team and Book is up and coming and Ayton. But ain't no guarantees, bro. You better seize this moment.
Nope. So you've been saying all show Phoenix played dumb basketball last night, but you've also made the case that Milwaukee in stretches plays dumb basketball. So this whole series has degenerated to me. It's become wildly exciting for all the wrong reasons, but it's almost like we've got dumb and dumber going on here, right?
Yes.
Because they try to out-dumb each other.
Correct.
Shannon, what tore me apart at the end of the game last night was that same guy I was watching, who I think is named Chris Paul, I think that's Chris Paul, that same guy scored 27 points down the stretch against my Clippers in Game 6 at Staples to close them out. He scored 27 in the last 2 minutes of the third quarter and the fourth quarter. So in just that short a time, that guy scored 27 closeout points. It was the greatest game of his career, regular season, postseason, whatever, greatest game of his career. And he bookended it last night, speaking of Book, with the worst game of his career. And it was so bad that, to your point, I got it against the Lakers because, remember, he banged up his shoulder.
Right.
And Monty didn't even want him to go. And he kept saying, no, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. And he'd get out there, and he just looked overmatched because he couldn't hang on to the basketball with his right hand because his right shoulder was so banged up. And if you look at his scoring against the Lakers in those 6 games, 7 points, 6 points, 7, 18, 9, and 8. So he never really, except for the 18, ever really got it going. But it seemed like he bounced back from his shoulder because against Denver, he started to cook a little bit. He had a 21, 17, 27. And then remember the closeout against Denver.
37.
As they swept 37 points from Chris Paul at age 36, ending his 16th season. And then he got stronger and stronger against the Clippers. Remember, he missed the first 2 games with COVID, so what a roller coaster ride it's been for him. But he goes 15, 18, 22, and then boom, 41. How do we go from that into an opening salvo against Milwaukee of 32 in game 1?
Yes.
To your point, here are his scores by game after the 32. 23, 19, 10. Huh? What happened to Chris Paul? I don't know. Is he being haunted by the slightly torn ligament in his wrist? I think it's in his shooting wrist. That's what he said after game 6 against the Clippers. To your point, he's got his left wrist wrapped. So I don't know what's going on. But it's hard for me to give him an injury pass when I saw with my own 2 eyes that he scored 41 against the Clippers in a closeout and 32 in game 1 of these finals.
Right.
Okay, so, Shannon, I hate to bring up old news, but I got to remind everyone, if you look at Chris Paul's playoff legacy, it has as many potholes in it as Giannis's playoff legacy does.
Yeah.
He just does, because they blew a 3-1 lead when he was in Houston, and twice he's blown 2-0 leads. And then once, the other time he got to the conference finals, obviously, they were up 3-2, and he pulled his hamstring. Okay, and they blew the 2 games to Golden State and didn't get to go to the NBA Finals. So we were all ecstatic for Chris that he finally broke through and got to an NBA Finals. And then that happened. And it's been happening over the last 3 games. And last night, it looked like he couldn't hang on to the basketball. And again, I'm with you. Holiday gets high marks for the pressure that he exerts on him. And maybe it wore Chris down a little bit. But this is Chris Paul we're talking about.
Yeah, this is NBA Finals. Oh, nobody want to hear about you wearing down. Nah, bro, you got to skip. And Milwaukee did everything they could to hand them the game. They tried to give you the game on a silver platter by jacking up all of these threes.
They did.
Giannis was not nearly as aggressive as he was in games 3, in games 2 and 3. And last night, I don't know what Giannis was doing, shooting threes. He know he's not a good three-point shooter. He's shooting like 20% from the 3, and he's taking threes. And when he get into the lane, he's shooting 65, 70%. So the game was right there for the taking. Chris, bruh, you are going to have to play better. Because I know you know, if you think the Milwaukee Bucks, because you've given them life, they want life support.
Yeah.
You breathe life back into them. You've done this single-handedly. Breathe life back into the Milwaukee Bucks. I still believe the Suns are going to win for the simple fact I know what the Bucks are going to do. They're going to come out and they're going to keep jacking up threes because they want to convince the world we can win games like we want to win games, not like how you want us to win games, which is go inside because nobody can stop Giannis. Nobody can stop Lopez if he gets down on the block because Giannis is being occupied by Ayton, but you're going to shoot the threes. So I still believe the Suns are going to win. But